Welcome to Real Talk with Ed and Erik. Erik is not here today. We had a scheduling conflict, but Milagro is long awaited back here with us today. Welcome back, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, we are going to dive into what we've been talking about on the other program. We're talking about relationships. Now, Milagro don't know that he didn't know that we were going to talk about this. So this is really, really, really straight off the cuff what we're talking about. Talking about relationships, right?
Mhm.
And we talked about the importance of having standards. I think we were talking about this several weeks ago at the church. So obviously, I'm way older than you. So my views on what I think about this may be different from yours, which is fine. My son told me several weeks ago, my younger son, he said that when it comes to relationships, he says that your time, respectfully, he said you and mom's time is over with. When he meant by over with, he was saying that y'all core values of what y'all think relationships are supposed to be. He says people don't practice that anymore. So you're closer in age, and what I would love to hear from you today. Tell me if he's right. Tell me if he's wrong. Tell me where we should be, and I'll go down the list of what I think is that you should have standards on. I'll give my opinion, then you give yours. You give yours, and I'll give mine if that works out for you. Okay.
For sure.
Before we do that, though, in Galatians chapter 5, I think we read this last week. I want to go over that real quick. Galatians chapter 5, starting at verse 16, it says, verse 8, it says, I say then, walk in the Spirit, and you shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. For the flesh lusts against the Spirit, and the Spirit against the flesh. These are contrary one to another, so that you do not do the things that you wish. But if you are led by the Spirit, you are not under law. It says, now the works of the flesh are evident, which are adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lewdness, idolatry, sorcery, hatred, contentions, jealousies, outbursts of wrath, selfish ambitions, dissensions, heresies, envying, murders, drunkenness, revelries, which and the alike, of which I've told you beforehand, just as I've told you in time past, that those who practice these things will not inherit the kingdom of God. Practice means making it a lifestyle, living out. But it says, but the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long suffering, kindness, goodness, gentleness, and self control. Against such there is no law. And those who are in Christ have crucified the flesh with its passions and its desires. The bottom line to it, God is telling us clearly that those that are led by the Spirit, they live this way. Those that are not led by the Spirit, these are the obvious things that you'll see manifested in their life. So, which raises the first question: when it comes to standards on a relationship, I'm a firm believer that if you don't set your own standards, then people will set it for you. And I want to be, I know what my core values are, what I will take and what I wouldn't take, or at least what I think I'll take and what I wouldn't take. I don't want nobody else to define that for me. I want to be able to define that for myself. So as it pertains to the Bible, number one, as we're talking about being in a relationship, dating, marriage, or whatever, I want somebody that loves God. I have to be in a relationship with somebody that loves God and following Jesus as a believer. Now that's non-negotiable. Matter of fact, the Bible also says, "Do not be unequally yoked together with unbelievers," and it talks about what fellowship has light with darkness. So, a commandment of God is, if I'm a believer, then I should be in a relationship with another believer. Okay, that to me that was non-negotiable because I'm not. I don't have to do it if I don't want to because that's my choice. But that's God's standard for that. Now the other ones we're going to debate about. Number two, I'm gonna give you number two. At a pertaining relationship and standards, I have to be with somebody I can trust. No falsehood, no lies, none of that kind of stuff. What's up with that? What do you think about how important do you think trust is?
It's everything. But I do have a problem with the standards.
Okay, what do you go for it?
I think everybody do got standards, but the thing is, they want something from somebody they not willing to give. They got standards for you, but they don't have standards for themselves. They want a woman that don't cheat or a man that don't cheat, but they creep out.
Mm,
They want somebody to make money, take care of their kids, but they may not have it.
mm.
So standards gotta go both ways, but people want it for the other person, not for themselves.
So you're saying that you don't try to put on me what I'm not willing to put on myself.
Yeah.
Okay, with this,
Oh, so you say you got to know your worth? Well, people put a higher value on themselves than what they're worth.
which raises another question before we get to number three. What is your worth? And do people how do you define how do people define what they, where does that come from? Because you come from a lot of different backgrounds. Some people come from, hey, mom and daddy never told me I was worth anything, so I grew up believing that I wasn't worth anything. So when I get into a relationship, my values for myself may be down here. So I may accept or let people stump on me, walk over me, treat me any kind of way when my value of myself is down here.
Well, your value determined on how far you willing to go for somebody. And then when you look at it like that, or they told you wasn't nothing, what do you value? So if you value money and you broke, well, you don't have no value there.
Mm.
But if you value heart and you're all heart, you rich.
Mm. Okay. Okay. What's trust? What is trust? How do can you earn trust?
Yeah, you can earn trust.
Okay.
You can earn trust. But I do think if you lose it, it's the hardest thing in the world to get back. Some people you'll never get it back
Never get it back. Why is that? Why do you feel that way?
because you already showed me who you was.
Ooh. Which says that if you make a mistake or you break trust, how can you get it back? Right? What do you think about how
So
can
you could make a mistake and not lose trust. But once you deceive me,
Mm.
I know you're a deceitful person. So how do I not know you tricking me again?
I know you tricking me again. If I like that. If you make a mistake, making a mistake is one thing, and we all make mistakes.
Yeah.
But going back to Galatians, if you have a pattern of being deceptive, trickery, saying one thing and doing something else, and I catch you, because the Bible says what's done in the dark shall come to the light, and I catch you and I confront you on it, and you've been lying on top of lying for a long extended period of time. I don't. I'm not saying you can't
Yeah.
redo it again, but it's like, how do we do
I
that?
never had that trust. I could still be friends with you or associates,
Okay,
but I just don't trust you.
you don't trust what?
Just like I think you could get away with almost anything. It's the way you do it. Like, I honestly think you could cheat on your partner and still have their trust. If you are the one that confessed to them. It can't be nobody in the streets coming back or the man or woman telling your partner. You have to tell them.
You mean like if I'm doing something wrong and I come to the place where look, I'm just going to confess what I did. That can open up the door to regain or rebuild.
Yeah.
The,
Because you're not, if you confess, I know you're not sorry that you got caught. I know that you're sorry because it hurts you. It makes you feel bad. You can't sleep at night because you got to confess.
And that's different than, hey, you busted. You know what I mean? And then you saying, I'm sorry, I'll never do it
You
again.
sorry you got caught.
You sorry you got caught. Yeah, when I say y'all generation, I'm not implying that our generation was perfect because it's not.
No. It's different time.
What is this social media DM trust?
Honestly, I think there's no difference. I think it's no difference between our time and y'all time, but y'all just got more skeletons in your closet.
I like that. That's
Like,
yeah.
everything is on for the world now.
Hmm.
People wake up and the first thing they do, grab their phone.
That's true.
They might go live. They got to show you everything they eating for dinner.
That's true.
They tell you when they man cheating or they woman cheating. It was happening during y'all time. It was happening before y'all time. A lot of our grandpas had a side family.
Yeah.
We didn't know about it because everything wasn't exposed. A lot of our grandparents and parents was beat on, but nobody outside the house knew. Sometimes the kids didn't even know. But now everything gets blasted.
Everything is blasted. I heard a guy say that the other day. What advice would you give people that if a young man is out there, he's watching, and he said, I'm listening to these guys. I mean, when it comes to trust, I've been a dishonest person. I lie. What advice would you give them, him or her, to rebuilding, I guess, internal trust in themselves to say, hey, I want to be, a trustworthy person?
If you could sleep with it, that's who you are.
Mm. Say that again.
If you could sleep with that on your conscience and you don't feel no type of way, that's who you are.
Mm. Wow.
So you can, I don't know if you can help those people. They're cool with who they are.
They're cool with who they are. If you can lie with a smile on your face, or say, "Hey, I was over here," knowing that you was over there, I get that.
And that's what ruined a lot of relationships because a lot of people they can't stomach the truth. Or they're cool with living a lie. Because
Mm.
a lie is more entertaining than the truth.
What do you mean by say that? What do you mean by that?
So I could make up all type of lies on you. Oh, Pastor King, a rapist, Pastor King. All this stuff was flying through the city.
Mm.
But when
Oh
it
yeah.
comes out, the truth is always whispered. The lie is yelled. If it
Mm.
comes out all that stuff is fake about you, well, your image is already ruined. Just because I put that on, nobody goes back and yell that all was all a lie.
Right. Ooh, that makes sense.
Because some people want to believe the worst on about you.
Mm.
So sometimes it just helps expose the fake.
I love that. What's the difference in trust and loyalty? Loyalty is the next one. What is loyalty to this generation?
Honestly, people separate them. I don't think you could have one without the other.
Mm. Mm. Loyalty to me is my relationship is saying that even when I'm not around, you treat me as though I'm standing right next to you. Like, for example, if our wives or our husbands, if somebody's flirting with them or coming on to them, right? The way they respond to that when I'm not around is if it's that's one way, and then they respond to it differently when I am around. Loyalty says if you're standing right here next to me, or if you're not standing here right here next to me, I'm gonna tell that person, hey, thanks for no thanks, but I'm married. I'm with this person. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I want you to be the same way as if I was there.
Yeah, yeah. What about? And I know this is heavy. Loyalty among friends. Like all of us have been to we've had this happen at one time or another in our lives where we've been betrayed by friends. And and if I'm being honest, there have been times where I've betrayed a friend. That kind of thing. What is talk about loyalty as friends?
Oh, man, I think
That's a heavy. That's a heavy
I
one.
think a lot of people when it comes to loyalty, man, they prostitutes. Now
Mm,
I say that because their loyalty belongs to the highest bidder.
What do you mean by that?
If I could do more for you than your friend of 30 years,
Mm,
you'll be more loyal to me.
mm.
So I think their loyalty belongs to the highest bidder.
I've never heard it put like that before.
Yeah, I could be loyal to you today, but then somebody else come along and they'll do more for me. I'm over there.
Mm.
How many people they met through you, and then you turn around next thing you know they're closer than they is. You don't even get the calls no more now.
Yeah.
I used to orchestrate the fishing trips. Now y'all going fishing without me.
Oh yeah.
But when it goes bad for them, who they got to come to?
I get it.
I knew y'all didn't mix anyway, but you
I
was
get it.
being loyal to whatever it was. He was a funner time at the moment.
Yeah. But when we go, we still get go to the youth center every week. And one of the things that was asked, commonly asked to the young guys there, why do you do what you do in terms of,
The crime.
the crime and that kind of thing. And one word that keeps coming back, well, I'm loyal to my hood. Okay, I know what I think that means, but I want you to tell us or the viewers, what does loyalty in the streets look like? What is that? What are they talking about? Or how do parents understand when Junior says, "Mom, I'm more loyal to my hood than I am to the principles or the things that you try to teach me"?
It's getting tricked. You got put in the trick bag.
You gotta
So
put, I gotta,
so
gotta put in the trick bag. I gotta write down.
so man, you could be deceived by anything. Somebody could deceive you with that Bible.
Mm. And many have done it.
Yeah, it's happening every day.
Yeah,
That's why a lot of people turn from church.
yeah.
And then you gotta get yeah, man, they just got put in the trick bag.
But when street loyalty. When the guys were talking about, hey, I had to represent for my hood or whatever. I had to do this, whatever it is that they did to get them in jail. They talked about the loyalty drove them to do what they did. But after a year or two of sitting in jail and they don't hear from their friends or hear from the people that they claim they was loyal to, then they start feeling deceived and they start feeling like that loyalty is not returned to them. What is that all about?
It's just like the medicine. It's just like a contract. You didn't read the fine print.
You should be the
When you signed up for this, did I tell you I would send you commissary?
Mm.
Did I tell you I would not tell on you?
Mm.
No, you got tricked. You got put in the trick. You got to read the fine print.
Mm.
Look around. How many people from the hood, because it was established before you, are millionaires?
Mm.
How many people from the hood do you see with the house on the hill, with their kids running around, and the dog and the beautiful wife?
Mm.
Nah, I see a lot of people, man, I did 15 on my head.
Mm.
Look at him. We 12. He 35, 40.
Mm.
He on the same corner with us.
Mm.
Look at, we blind. It's the blind leading the blind. And a lot of them older cats, they know what they doing. They got so wrapped in the trick bag, man. The truth, the saying goes back to misery love company.
Mm.
I know I did 30 of my 45 years in prison. I have nothing to come on to.
Mm.
Now I'm going to trick your life off. Now why I got to go back? I'm already a felon. You 12, you off the porch. I'm going to show you the same ropes these fools showed me.
Mm.
Now you about to do that 30. I don't got to do the time no more. I can shoot at whoever, whatever. Little homie, I'm throwing my gun in your lap. What you going to do? You going to tell them the truth? Snitching.
Mm. So that's heavy. So as parents, how do you keep little Johnny from that? If little Johnny's feeling like, hey, all of his little friends that he used to play basketball with, or all his little friends that he used to play touch football with, now they terrorizing the streets, and he don't want to be left out. They telling him, hey man, if you loyalty and you really are a friend, you gonna, how do you do that? How do you?
You just said the key word. Parent. Most of these, follow these dudes home. Most of these women are attracted to gang members. So all these dude hearing is prison stories, hood stories.
Mm.
Is mama attracted to it? Why wouldn't he be?
Mm.
This all he know.
Mm.
A lot of people don't have a positive male influence
In their life. Where I know man we're going on. Where is dad? Where is today's dad?
Oh, I think it's a lot of great fathers out here today.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, man, it's all come down to one thing: poverty.
Poverty. I heard a guy say that.
It all come to poverty, man. None of them little dudes would be gangbanging if y'all could put money in their pocket. If we could find a way to put money in their pocket. Why? Man, honestly, 95% of gang members are broke.
Mm.
You are the duck. Most of them catch gun cases. That's not even a gun. They can't afford a gun.
Mm.
Because really, a gang banger is just a security guard. You are the flunky who protecting the block for the hustlers.
Mm.
You just sitting duck. We replace you. The easiest person to replace in the hood is the shooter.
Is the shooter.
He gets no money. He has no. All he does is shoot.
Mm.
You're the easiest person to replace. It's hard to replace the hustler.
Mm.
Everybody ain't no hustler. Anybody could be a shooter.
So okay, now you got me thinking again. Now and you go back to those relationship pieces, the trust and the loyalty part. My kid is 11. He up until this time, all he wanted to do was play video games. All he wanted me to do was buy him some new Jordans at Christmas time. Now I'm getting calls. He's acting a fool at school all the time. He laying around sleep. He barely wants to come out and eat with the family, talk to us. What's going on with him?
You just said it. All he want to do is lay around. What did he ever have to do for all these kids want something for them? We could pull up on a 4-year-old right now. I bet you they got a better phone than me and you.
And they know how to use it better.
All right. So what motivates them? They're not going to have no hustle. They're not gonna have no ambition because we give them everything. All our grit come from we didn't have. That Muhammad Ali doll you wanted.
Right, right.
Them Jordans I wanted.
Yeah.
That's where all our hustle came from. They got everything. So how do I motivate you? Well, I'm gonna tell you what's gonna make you get A's. If you get the same thing from getting A's and F's, what would make you get an
A? I get it.
I already have that.
So it sounds like to me you point the finger back toward the parent.
And it ain't that because the parent is trying to do what the saying is. Oh, I want my kids to have a better life than me.
It's
okay. But some of the things that we didn't have made us who we are. So imagine if we had those things. You think we're the same person? You think you're Pastor King? If you just always had?
Right, I get it.
Man, God already working for me. Well, I'm seeking them for.
Wow. How did you? What made you different? What made you different in terms of look? Okay, you always been. I always looked at you, even when you were a kid. I always looked at you as being a street smart person, and a lot of that could have been the things that you've seen or whatever.
Yeah.
You seem like you always had a good knowledge, good or bad, of what was going on around you, right? Looking back on that now, and we'll talk more about it in the next program. Looking back on that now, okay, what would the today you say to the young you that when you started coming to Hope Center when you was 12, 13, 14? What would today you say to that you back then? Well, all of what you see, all of what you experience, all of what you know, what you see and know now, if you had a chance to talk to 13, 14-year-old Milagro, what would you say to him? And would he listen? With 13, 12, 13, 14-year-old Milagro, what was his mindset? Would he listen?
Man, I would just tell him one thing, man, which I would tell everybody. Man, you enough.
What do you mean?
You enough, man. The world beat you up so much. That's why we all so confused and depression and anxiety. So the world always tell you you're not enough. You are enough. You're not strong enough. You're not tough enough. You're not smart enough. You're not pretty enough. The whole world tell you you're not enough. And until that light switch click on that you are enough, you just gonna be confused. You ain't gonna never be enough for the world until you decide that you are enough. What ain't for you ain't for you. Somebody gonna think you're ugly. Okay, they ain't for you. Somebody gonna think you're stupid. Okay, they ain't for you. Somebody gonna think you're a punk. All right, they ain't for you. You don't have to prove nothing. It's already been proven.
So we got you. So you're standing. Dream with me. You're standing in front of an auditorium of 300 12 to 15-year-olds, and you get one message to give them. Would that be the message that you give?
You
them?
are enough.
You are enough. Your value, your worth, is not found in all those other things that you think that make you.
You enough.
You enough. Well, we went to the youth center again last week, and they take us on Unit 9, and they say that Unit 9 is the worst unit in the prison there. And me and another guy, we go in and we're sitting down conversating. Last week, our conversation. Guess what our conversation was about for a whole hour and a half? Talking about airplanes. Their fascination with airplanes and naming all the different type of planes and all that kind of thing. And I was sitting there thinking, I said, man, these are I know they're in there for a reason. I know the things that they've done got them in there and for some, they're not coming home for a long time. But when you sat back and you pulled back the layers, they were like little innocent boys that just, why couldn't we? I wish we could have talked about airplanes before you committed your crime, to where you put your life in the hands of other people. But I was sitting there fascinated, thinking, it's like, you know what, man? How much value is it connecting with someone before they step off into getting a gun and going out in the street?
Man, it started early, but it the foundation being built. But what I see a lot of grown people, they can't put themselves back in those shoes of those kids. When you're that young, your block is your whole world. You're confined to maybe a 4-block radius. So you can't even an airplane. You wouldn't believe you run across grown people to this day who've never been on an airplane.
Okay.
So imagine their kid. How can their kids ever picture being on an airplane? Their parents don't even have that story.
Mm.
And this block is our world. Why wouldn't I kill you for my world? This is all I know. This is everybody I love right here. I had to be a teenager before I hit 90th Street. That was white folk land. We don't go over there. I didn't even know what it looked like.
For us, it was 72nd. We were
Yeah, 70. We didn't go past Crossroads. Crossroads was the farthest. That's what I'm saying. I never been to 90th, so I couldn't fathom that. I don't even know what that looked like.
Wow. So you're saying the importance of expanding your worldview gives you a vision for my life can be more than just what I see. Okay.
I'm just now hitting that spectrum, knowing what Texas is like. We don't picture none of this. All we know is the block and the ops. That's our whole world.
Wow.
So anything else you talking about is absurd. I don't even want to hear you preaching to me because I got a friend who just died. So I know what I'm signing up for. I know I'm going to die. What your preaching finna do for me?
So in closing, we have to pick it up next week, but loyalty, peace again. How do we get them, or what does loyalty look like the right way as it pertains to those younger people?
See, I got to see it in my world.
Got to see it in my
Some of us never even seen a couple. We don't have a family on our block. My mom and pop that love each other, that we see their kids go. Nah, some of us never even seen that. We got 30 friends. We can't name a daddy. Oh, 4 of them might have a stepdad.
Wow. To be continued. Our time went quick on that one, but we'll most definitely pick this up again with Milagro next week. Until next week, remember, we walk by faith, not by sight.